After much anticipation and build-up, the director's cut of Rocky IV has finally been released. I was able to watch it on the big screen since it was a one-night event, but now it's on VOD, so now you can check it out and see what you think.
I'm coming to get you.
But in my opinion, Director's Cut of Rocky IV is a solid film, with some faults, but overall, a much more solid film. The new scenes and alternate takes bring more to the film and the characters, as well as the pacing of the fights have been improved. But I want to talk about its faults. I felt like if this fault would have been addressed, the whole film could have been terrific. And this fault was the beginning. Now, typically in Rockies, we have a brief summary of what happened in the previous Rocky to kind of set up the new Rocky. And here, there's a lot of footage from Rocky III put back into the beginning, and I feel like it was too much. I think I read somewhere it was like 7 minutes of footage. It's a lot. Like, and these are supposed to be very brief summaries, just like Dragon Ball Z, like the previously on Dragon Ball Z. And for this one, it was previously on Dragon Ball Z. Rocky beat up Clubber Lang, but then he had to give Apollo his one favor, and that was the last rematch. And then we start Rocky IV, because that's where Rocky III finished. And instead, we have a lot of footage from really before they started training. So that's way in the beginning of Rocky III. I don't know what that's doing there. And that doesn't really help lead us into Rocky IV. Because I feel like the brief summary from Rocky IV, like the theatrical cut, was perfect. It was just, he beat Clubber Lang, and then he gave Apollo the rematch. And then we cut into Rocky IV, him coming back home from that rematch. It all made sense. It all flowed naturally. And instead here, we have a lot from Rocky III, and I'm just sitting here wondering, what are we doing? And it's basically to set up more of Rocky and Apollo's friendship. And while I understand that, you don't need to have them both on screen to set up their friendship. That beginning where he came home from their match, that was still helping their friendship. It was like establishing it more. So I don't really understand what the need to have that other footage there, be. And also why you cut out that footage of him coming home. Because the director's cut, it starts with Apollo in the pool. So you don't have him coming home. You don't have Paulie's birthday, which I understand they wanted to cut out the robot. Okay. But it felt like we kind of jumped too far. And that was a big problem that I had. Also, if you wanted to cut out the robot, you could still have the scene where he comes home. You could still have the scene of Paulie's birthday. Somewhat. You just kind of avoid the robot. But it seems very jarring. And that's the very beginning of the film. So that was a big thing for me. I feel like that was an odd transition in. But as soon as we got through that part, I feel like the film really, started to settle in. And it really started giving us the new scenes, alternate takes. A lot of the alternate takes actually helped out Drago. It gave him a bit more character. Sure, he was still very much a menacing character, but it felt like the emotions were kind of seeping a bit more out. You saw glimpses of his emotions and his state. And I think that was really great. That gave Drago a lot of character with not much more added. Like, he did have a few more lines of dialogue, but it was really those actions, those reactions, that really gave him more character. And overall, that was really it. Like, those two things is what brought back the film for me. Other than that, it was terrific. I mean, yeah, they kind of played with the training montages, some here and there. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I think, you should have kept the originals. But for the most part, a lot of the changes they did were very positive, and it really helped flesh it out a bit more. Especially the ending. I feel like the ending was much more poignant. Except, you should have kept Hearts on Fire. I don't know why you played Eye of the Tiger. You should have kept Hearts on Fire. That's how you end Rocky IV. But that's my opinion. And if you haven't checked it out, well, hey, what are you waiting for, man? Are you Adam Yeah, he still hasn't seen it. Could you believe it, dude? You're more professional than I am. Thank you for responding to me, though. It made me feel a bit important.